Hello. It's been a busy one, so I feel a little bit more scattered than usual because I've just been in various spaces a lot. Saying that I'm more scattered than usual feels like a big statement because I feel like 90% of my video output is just me being quite scattered. But we'll see how we get on. We'll see if the wheels fall off. They will. So the cross stitch, I don't have an update for you. It is because I'm avoiding it slightly. I tend to cross stitch late at night. That's what I do late at night. I know other people go to nightclubs and whatnot. I cross stitch. But at the moment I'm at the point where I'm doing black back stitch on black stitches. Now it's going to be worth doing because it's going around the edges. So cross stitch can be a little bit blocky looking and the back stitch can sort of smooth and round the shapes. And because it's birds, they need to be a little bit rounder. It is working. It's worth doing. It's just not something that I really want to do at 11 p.m. So what I will do is try and get onto it in the daytime and we'll see if that makes a difference. And so maybe by the end of the year, although it is November, maybe by the end of next year, I will have a finished piece to show you. I've got some other cross-stitch projects that I do want to get started on, but I'm really not letting myself do that until I have finished the back stitch on the toucans. So I have weaving updates for you though. Now this purple one has been wet finished and it looks like this. So there's been a little bit of shrinkage in the purple and also some bloom. Bloom is just when the yarn expands to fill the gaps in the weaving. And the shrinkage I can tell is there because these side loops, a lot of them, you can't see them very well, but they are there, are poking up a little bit more because of the shrinkage. So this is how one side looks. I think the colours are a little bit bolder, which often happens in a wet finish. So you can see there, all along there. And then the other side is much the same, but without those side loops. So the other side has its own look, which looks like that. This needs pressing. Everything always does. We're just going to run with it. I did mean to press this one and I ran out of time. So that is finished and I'm really, really pleased with how these colours came out on that purple. So this chonky one, which I was working on last week, came off the loom last night or yesterday, at some point yesterday. So not wet finished. Deciding what to do with the fringe. Twisting is an option, it always is, but my twister is cheap and not very good and doesn't hold fine yarns very well, so I might plait it. I could leave it loose, I'm probably not going to because it will fray. So that's how that's looking. This is a little stiff, and I think that that's the yarn. Nylon tends to be super soft, but this is a little bit stiff. I'm hoping that a good soak when I wet finish it will soften it up, but we'll see how that looks next week when I will have it wet finished. Now on the little loom, I said on Mastodon yesterday that I was about to take that blue one off, this blue one, which I'm calling blue. It's got other colours in it, but it is predominantly blue. And then I was going to stare at my yarn stash for a couple of hours and figure out what was going on next. And David said, from the left, about halfway along, about a third up. And what that turned out to be was Bendigo Wool & Mill's classic 8-ply in a pale green. So that has gone on the loom. So thank you, David, for choosing my yarn sight unseen. This is on the wrong side. I did not plan that very well. So that's how the little loom's looking. Is this fresh on the loom? Yes. So this green was so tangled. I don't normally have a problem with Bendigo Wool & Mill's yarn being tangled. It's usually really well wound. There we go, use your words. There's usually a little tangle at the start, but there often is with commercial yarn. And then it's fine after that. This, for some reason, because it was sort of 2/3 of a ball, I think, and had been rattling around in the stash. So I was going to warp this all up last night, and I didn't because I had to swear at this yarn for being so tangly. But it's on the loom now. So this pale green is, as I said, Bendigo Wool & Mill's classic 8-ply. This is pattern Sierra Chunky in one of the colourways, I don't know which one. And I have put this with this green because there is a little tiny bit of green in it. I don't know that I'm ever going to get to, oh, I will because it's just there. So I'm hoping to get more green so that it matches the warp. This was just kicking around in the stash, as is everything else. The reason it's on the long shuttle is because it is a chunky yarn and I don't want to have too many joins with this chunky yarn because it's obvious. So I want to get as much as I can on a shuttle so that I don't have to reload the shuttle too frequently and therefore have joins in the project. This should be a quick weave, but I've said that before and it hasn't been true, but we'll see how I get on with this one. It might even, I was going to say it might even be off and wet finished for next week, but that feels unlikely. So I've got a few things on the to-do list apart from the cross stitch. I've got, as I mentioned last week, there's a community banner being made for the neighbourhood house. I've got a couple of panels to do for that. I've just had an idea for one of them, and the other one I am still considering. But I've got maybe a week and a half before I have to hand those in. So I should be okay. It's probably going to be fine. But that is all I have for you this week. So thank you so much for watching. You have a lovely rest of your week. Take care of yourself, and I will see you soon.